They do not care about the people in the United States. That's why the southern border is open. That's why they've been printing and spending money and causing inflation like nobody's business. That's why they keep shipping weapons over to Ukraine to make us weaker. They don't care about the people here in the U.S. That is obvious. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to your first time here. You know, it seems like that it's been one crisis after another, one shortage after another since 2019, and it just keeps on happening over and over and over again. And I think a lot of this is caused by things we did back in 2019, 2020. This right here from Zero Hedge, very serious shortages of amoxicillin, augmentin, Tamiflu, albuterol, and Tylenol have erupted all over the U.S. Hospitals are filling up all across America, and there are extremely alarming shortages of some of the most important medications. Health authorities are warning that RSV and flu and COVID are combining to create a triple demic, and there are simply not enough medications to go around. Personally, I am most concerned about RSV. It is spreading like wildfire from coast to coast, and we're being told that very young children and the elderly are particularly vulnerable. I wrote an article about the RSV outbreak earlier this month, and since that time things have gotten even worse. Our medical system is being absolutely flooded with sick kids, and this has caused very serious shortages of amoxicillin, augmentin, Tamiflu, and albuterol. America is facing a shortage of 4 key medications used for common illnesses in children as virus season comes back in full force. Officials have declared a shortage of first-line antibiotics, amoxicillin and augmentin, which are used to treat bacterial infections. Tamiflu, the most common flu medication in the U.S., and albuterol, an inhaler for asthma and to open airways in the lungs, are also in short supply, according to the American Society of Health System Pharmacists. In all my years, I have never heard of a shortage of Tylenol in the United States. Unfortunately, we have millions of people with compromised immune systems all over the country. And I wonder why so many people with compromised immune systems. I wonder why that people are getting viruses, it seems, at more frequent rates, and it's doing more damage to their bodies, putting them in hospitals and things like that. It's more difficult for their immune system to deal with because their immune systems are compromised. I can't say what I'm thinking, but you can probably read my mind right now, so let's move on. And so RSV and the flu are hitting us extremely hard. I have seen families who just aren't getting a break. They have one viral infection after another, and now there's the secondary effect of ear infections and pneumonia that are prompting amoxicillin shortages. The reason for the shortages is due to increased demand, especially with the surge in RSV and flu cases. The combination of RSV, flu, and COVID circulating has been called a triple demic. It sure would be nice if the federal government would step in and help to ensure that everyone has enough medications to give to their children during this medical emergency. But instead of doing that, the Biden administration has decided to give another $4.5 billion to Ukraine. The United States, through the U.S. Agency for International Development, and in cooperation with the U.S. Department of the Treasury and Department of State, is providing an additional $4.5 billion in direct budgetary support to the government of Ukraine. The funding, which will help alleviate the acute budget deficit caused by Putin's brutal war of aggression, was made possible with generous bipartisan support from Congress. Bipartisan. The government of Ukraine will receive the funding in 2 tranches before the end of 2022. In addition, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has just announced that Ukrainians will be receiving another $400 million in military aid. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken announced a new $400 million military aid package to Ukraine on Wednesday. The package will include additional arms, munitions, and air defense equipment from the U.S. Department of Defense inventories, so they're giving them more of our weapons. Blinken said in a statement, which didn't provide many specifics on the weapons heading to Ukraine, it is the 26th time the administration is using the presidential drawdown authority, which allows the United States to take from its own stockpiles and provide those weapons to Ukraine. Rather than giving so much money to the Ukrainians, why can't we spend it on some antibiotics for our children? And that is a good question, and the answer is they don't care. I've talked about that before. They do not care about the people in the United States. That's why the southern border is open. That's why they've been printing and spending money and causing inflation like nobody's business. That's why they keep shipping weapons over to Ukraine to make us weaker. They don't care about the people here in the U.S. That is obvious. Anybody that thinks the federal government actually cares about the people here, has their best interest at heart, want to have us prosperous and well and happy, is delusional. They do not care about us whatsoever. They want us poor, they want us broke, they want us starving. That is obvious. And that's one reason that Biden brung on another 76 or 78,000 IRS agents. That's why they're getting pew-pews, because they want to come in and make sure that you can have nothing. If you make anything, they want to come in and take it for taxes. And they can send over hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine. Hundreds of billions of dollars in direct funds and weapons to Ukraine. But over here, homelessness, shortages of medications, gas prices, inflation, they don't care. It's amazing that people still think that the federal government, or any government for that matter, actually cares about the people. They care about lining their own pockets. They care about other nations, it seems, other countries, way more than the people here in the U.S. If they cared about your safety and my safety, they would close the southern border up. But nope, they don't care. Come on, come all. It's a free for all. It is. It's so ridiculous that it makes me mad to even think about it, to be honest about it, guys. It is total insanity. This country is being ran by people who are complete lunatics. They know what they're doing. I'm not saying that, but they're lunatics for doing it. And they're just obeying the puppet masters from the top down. And they're doing this to crash the United States down because they want the United States to be equal to other third world countries. They want to be an equal playing ground. They want a world without borders. The Great Reset is going to put China at the top of the military food chain and the economic food chain of the world. It's going to be China. The United States is going down to a third world status. The dollar is losing its world reserve currency status. It's crashing. And as soon as that dollar crashes, that's when they're going to bring in the central bank digital currencies. And that's the plan. It's all plan. They don't care about the children. They don't care about me, you. They don't care about none of us. All they care about is this agenda, this woke, globalist, climate agenda. And they're implementing it. And they've been doing this now they've been planning this for years. But they are now putting this all in place. We see it. Anyone with any eyes can see and does any research at all can see that this is all part of the Great Reset and that they don't care about the people. In fact, they want less people. They want to depopulate the earth to save the planet. But this right here, guys, is absolutely ridiculous. And another thing, I've read that most, if not all of our medications come from China. So that could be part of it right here. That's causing this to be in short supply because it all comes from China. The United States, more stupidity, more ignorance, doesn't really produce anything. They outsource everything important. Microchips, medications, things that will save our lives and protect the country from foreign invasion or whatever. It's outsourced to other countries. Usually those countries are not friendly to the U.S. Now you explain that. What kind of logical thinking is that? Who would take, and you have stuff of strategic importance, military strategic importance, medical importance, and you say, I'm going to send that to this other country over here that's actually hostile to the U.S. and wants to be the dominating world superpower, but I'm going to send everything over here to get it manufactured and sent back because it's cheaper. That's like the microchips. They sent that to Taiwan. And Taiwan says they're independent, but others say that they are part of China, including the United States official policy that Taiwan and China are one. However, they doublespeak and say the opposite at certain times. So it's hard to say what they're thinking. But from my understanding, Taiwan is actually a part of China. They're trying to break free, and China sees them as part of China, but it gets all complicated, that does, because they want to be free. The United States says they recognize that Taiwan is part of China. But then when they talk about China attacking Taiwan or taking Taiwan back and occupying Taiwan with Chinese Communist forces, the United States says they'll step in and stop it. So who knows, what they're thinking. But my point is, what kind of thinking are these people using when they allow medications to be made in a foreign country? And God only knows what's been put in those medications. What kind of fillers is put in those. They could be putting chalk or whatever, anything, in those medications, sugar, whatever, and sending them over here. There's been recalls of certain medications, like blood pressure medications, because they had cancer-causing substances in those medications. Those medications, from what I've read, all come from China. What kind of people in their right mind allows this to happen? The United States of America. Here it is, guys. Another shortage. Another potential catastrophe that could make a lot of children suffer, and actually could cause children to pass away from infections and things like that. Not good. Not good at all. Personally, I've not looked at the pharmacy for Tylenol or nothing like that in a while. If you've looked and you have noticed there's been shortages, let me know in the comments below. If you've experienced any of this RSV and flu this year, let me know in the comments below. What was your experience? How did you treat that? How long did it take you to get over that? Whatever you want to share in the comments about this, feel free to share below. And guys, be sure to check the links in the description box below to my books, my recommended gear, and things like that. So I'll link to the description box below. Link to my website, to my newsletter, things like that, all in the description box. Click on it, expand it, look at those, click through, and sign up for my email newsletter. It's free. All you gotta do is just put your email in, and you're done. Sign up for that, because YouTube has taken off 2 of my videos here in the last week or so, I think it's been. So they're watching the channel, and there's videos that's been ones I posted way back in 2019 that they're taking off now. So it's just a matter of time, most likely, for the channel gets taken down. So be sure to subscribe to my email newsletter and to my BitChute channel. Thanks for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Emily Creek, more. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.